Can I show you a scary video?
No, because this video is so weird. This video went viral in its own country. It comes from Indonesia and it was posted in 2021. And I had to use Google Translate to understand what exactly was happening. And it basically says that the user who posted this, Diana, was looking for her cats at 1 a.m. when suddenly this appeared.
Labo nga. Labo nga bang? Mama. John? Oh, adik. Oh, labo. Allah Akbar. Allah. Astaghfirullah. No.
Let's talk about Jeff the Killer. By the way, this is a creepypasta. He was a 13-year-old boy who had just moved to a new town with his mother and father. And he was already being bullied a lot in horrible ways that I can't even say on this video. One day at a party, the bullying got a little too out of hand. They disfigured him, lighting him on fire and throwing bleach on his face. He woke up in the hospital with his head wrapped in bandages. His eyelids were burnt off. When he took off the bandages, he noticed his face was all leathery and pale. He started laughing uncontrollably, and doctors just played it off as, oh, maybe it's the medicine we gave him, making him a little loopy. He started saying he loved his new face, and he eventually carved a permanent smile in his mouth because mentally he was broken. He was no longer that nice little 13-year-old boy. That's when he decided to get revenge on the bullies, taking them out one by one. This watermelon's good. He even took his family's life. What did they do to you, bro? What did they do? Now it's stated that he comes after anyone who stays up late. This was the last photo someone took of him before he got them. This picture is supposedly cursed.
This is among the scariest film scenes you will ever see. This man works at a mannequin factory. He noticed a strange man talking to a plastic mannequin on a bench as he was making his way home. The mannequin turned its head in an extreme way. The man fled from the scene in fear. The next day, when they looked over the inventory, they came upon a mannequin in a strange stance and were so startled that they nearly wet their pants. They were scared and really anxious. On his route to the subway station at night, the man unexpectedly ran into the mannequin once again. It looks that the mannequin was waiting for the man and pursued him endlessly. The mannequin moved slowly, yet the man felt his goosebumps at his eerie position. After reaching a dead end while sprinting, the man was immediately followed by the mannequin. The man knocked the mannequin to the ground, breaking it into pieces. He believed that everything was over. As he ran, his body started to feel more rigid. Looking at his hands, which were gradually turning into plastic, he noticed the strange man who appeared to be waiting for him.
We now actually know what happens when we die. What the hell? This is actually groundbreaking, and scientists say this is the stuff they live for, and this definitely doesn't happen every day. So for a long time, scientists have been analysing brain activity after death, in that strange 7 or 8 minutes from when you die to when your brain actually shuts off and you're completely dead. There's been claims before, people saying your life flashed before your eyes, people that have died and then came back to life, so, you know, it was possible. But we may actually have an answer, and it's probably not what you're thinking. So scientists were analysing an 87-year-old patient who had suddenly developed epilepsy when he tragically died of a cardiac arrest while there. Obviously, they were hooked up to these machines, meaning they could see all the brain activity, and what they found was absolutely mental. In the 30 seconds after he died, there was still brain activity, and the brain waves followed the same form as dreaming or recalling memories. Like, exactly the same pattern, which is mental because he was dead. Meaning this could prove that life does actually flash before your eyes when you die.
The secret history of Egypt not taught to us in school.
Part 1. The Lost Labyrinth Beneath the Pyramids.
Herodotus, the father of history, famously documented his visit to Hawara nearly 3,000 years ago.
This is where he discusses the Lost Labyrinth of ancient Egypt. And he mentions the fact that the labyrinth had a massive underground section. He claimed that it was a work beyond words and was even more impressive than the pyramids themselves.
The crazy thing is that this also aligns with a recent discovery made by archaeologist Dr. Voltaire.
In 2015, advanced scanning technology using satellites discovered a massive underground system of channels and chambers beneath the pyramid at Hawara.
Weirdly, there are actually 4 levels making up this underground system. First is the pyramid on the surface, then a Roman and a Ptolemaic level discovered by this dude in 1607. But in the new discovery, 2 new levels were found. The blue level 60 feet below ground, and the red level 130 feet below ground. Herodotus claims to have only been in the blue level, but actually only heard about the red level. so no one knows what could be down there.
And don't let the 3D rendering deceive you. The tunnels are 107 acres long, which is around the size of 81 American football fields.
Imagine it as an airport but hidden below ground. That's literally how big this thing is. 5 chambers in this labyrinth complex are larger than an Olympic pool, and all but one of the 82 chambers are larger than the average size house.
Since no one has explored this underground system, only speculation can be made about what it is.
Some speculate it could have served as an underground bunker to survive an ancient cataclysm, or perhaps a place to hide and protect ancient knowledge.
What would be the reason for its massive size, and is this a part of the labyrinth that Herodotus discusses? Thank you to Dr. Voltaire, who unfortunately recently passed. If it wasn't for her research, these underground tunnels may have been lost to history. If you want part 2, be sure to like and follow.
All hands hoist the colors high. He
Creepy videos on the internet, part 199.
I'm dead ass fucking serious. This is freaking me the fuck out. My fucking lens. Dude, I'm actually freaking out. Dude, this shit. I'm gonna. Dude, it gets more. What the? Okay, you know, yeah. Nah, to the hell nah.
Can I show you a scary video?
Astagfirullahaladzim. Astagfirullahaladzim. Astagfirullah. Gak ada kepalanya. Allahu Akbar. Ya Allah, Gusti. Hei, gak ada kepalanya, jantung. Hei, ya Allah, Gusti.
Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed. It's late at night and you're in a public bathroom. You're finished doing your business when you realize there's no toilet paper. Lucky for you, a figure comes up to your stall and asks if you want red paper or blue paper. What a weird question, but he's your only hope at having a clean bottom. You say red paper. He busts in and slices you up until you're drenched in your own blood. Rewind. You say blue paper, and he busts in and strangles you until you're blue in the face. This figure is called akamanto, or red cloak in English. And asking for different colored paper besides the red or blue that he offers will result in him dragging you to hell. Asking for yellow paper in particular will have him drowning you in the toilet. The only way to beat him is to simply ignore him. He'll walk away eventually. You'll still have no toilet paper, but at least you're alive. Here's Akamanto and Hanako-san. Like for more content about Japanese mythical beings, bye! Do you have an insatiable yearning for power, fame, and fortune? Do not create a Hinagami. Hinagami translates to doll spirit. They're super powerful and grant their owners' wishes. Hinagami are eager to please their owners. As soon as a wish is granted, be it for power, fame, or fortune, the Hinagami will demand what's next. The cycle continues endlessly. Even after death, Hinagami follow their owners to hell and torment them for all eternity. Here's how to create a Hinagami. Every night for 3 years, collect the dirt from graves that have been trampled on by the people during the day. For particularly strong Hinagami, collect dirt from 7 different graveyards in 7 different towns. Once the dirt is collected, mix it with human blood until it becomes clay-like. Mold the clay into a doll shape that represents a god or spirit that you worship. Leave the doll on a busy road until it's trampled by 1,000 people. When you go to retrieve the doll, you'll find that it has become a Hinagami.
Bronco Burger, the suspect in the Idaho murder case, went to court today, and here is what happened. So the Idaho murder case where, of course, the 4 teens were tragically unalived in their university accommodation. And of course we know now that it is extremely likely that it was this man, 28-year-old Brian Koberger, who was actually a criminology student and knew the teens. Before I say about the court case, just look at this quick. I know this doesn't have any relevance to do with the case or whatever, but look how similar he looks to Ted Bundy. What the hell? Of course, we know he was studying criminology, scary in relevance to the case. He also actually applied for an internship with the police force. Imagine he became a police officer. What? Today in the room, a lot of people online are saying he didn't look very worried, so maybe he didn't do it. I mean, he looks pretty damn worried to me. And what happened is the judge said that he will be tried. If he is actually found guilty, the penalty he will get will either be death or life. Of course, hit that follow button and I'll keep you updated on everything.
There is a new horror movie on Netflix that some people are saying is the scariest movie ever made. It's called Untold, and according to this Netflix algorithm report, it says that 96% of all accounts turned the movie off at exactly 9 minutes and 45 seconds. Now, I watched the movie past 9 minutes and 45 seconds, but almost everybody I told about this movie had to shut it off right there. Only 4% of accounts were able to finish the entire movie.
This is one of the most gruesome and brutal mass murders in history. In the sleepy town of Villisca, Iowa, a gruesome and unsolved mystery haunts the community to this day. On the night of June 9th, 1912, 8 people were brutally murdered in their beds with an axe. Among the victims were 6 children, ranging in age from 5 to 12 years old. The killer left no fingerprints and no clues, and the motive for the murders remains a mystery to this day. Despite multiple suspects and investigations over the years, the case remains unsolved. Many in Villisca still believe that the murderer's spirit lingers in the town, haunting those who dare to investigate the case or even visit the old house where the murders took place. The house where the murders took place still stands abandoned to this day, and many visitors report feeling a heavy, oppressive atmosphere and hearing strange noises in the night when they visit the area. So be careful if you find yourself in the area, because
Japanese mythical beings you never knew existed. If you see a woman with long black hair walking alone at night, don't approach her. She could be a Harionago. Harionago roughly translates to needle girl. She gets her name from the thorn-like barbs at the ends of her hair, which she has direct control over. Of course, from afar, the average person won't know, and once you get too close, it's too late. When you approach, she'll smile at you, and if you return the grin, she'll go on the attack. Her hair will lash out at you at lightning speeds and rip into your flesh. She'll then rip you apart with her hair and then devour you. While no one can overpower a Harionago, you can't outrun her. If you manage to hide in a place with strong doors and windows, you might be able to survive until morning when she'll disappear.
Can I show you a scary video?
No, because this video is so creepy. This video comes from user Lily Patrici, and as you can see, the video went viral with almost 2 million views. And in the video, they're driving around this market where apparently a ghost appears. Specifically this market. Pay very close attention to the windows. Here's the video.
Hai guys, jadi kita lagi di daerah Pasar Badung. Mau lihat ada yang melihat hantu legendaris di sini nggak? Di sini tuh ada hantu legendarisnya. Yang bisa lihat cuma yang punya mata batin doang.
what is that?
This is how Japan was made according to Shinto beliefs. Spoiler alert, it includes incest. There were once 2 god siblings called Izanami and Izanagi. One day they decided to create an island, and that island became Japan. Izanami and Izanagi then fell in love, and every time they made love, they created the kamis or spirits for the oceans, hills, mountains, and forests of Japan. One day, Izanami dies after giving birth to the kami of fire, and she is sent to Yomi no Kuni, or the underworld. Izanagi is heartbroken, so he goes to the entrance of Yomi no Kuni to beg Izanami to come back, and Izanami replies that she's already eaten the food of Yomi no Kuni, so she cannot return, but she will plead with the kami of the underworld. She may be let go, but until then, Izanagi must promise not to look at her. Well, Izanagi got impatient and goes into the underworld to check to see if Izanami is okay, and what he saw was terrifying. I don't have enough time to say the full story, but like for part 2. I'll see you next time.
114 stab wounds, 49 defensive wounds, 35 wounds to the head and neck, 29 to the back and shoulder, and 6 fatal wounds. This court has reviewed and seen more than its fair share of autopsy photos. The autopsy photos in this particular case were particularly difficult. The 49 defensive wounds indicate that Tristan Bailey was conscious, that she was aware, and that she was doing everything she could to fend off this attack. She suffered a painful, horrifying death from someone that she trusted. Her screams were most likely stifled by her own suffocating lungs. He lured her into a secluded place in the woods near his home, a person that she trusted, and he led her there under false pretenses. There was a heightened level of premeditation in this case. Based on the prior statements that he made to his girlfriend and his friend, he indicated that he was going to kill someone. At which point he determined that it was going to be Tristan Bailey, I don't know. But there was going to be a victim. He indicated that how he was going to do it, that he would take them into a wooded place, that he would stab them, he would kill them and then run away so that he could keep on killing. He told his best friend that he wanted to kill someone to see what it felt like, and he wanted to watch them bleed out. This particular crime was committed with the weapon of choice as a knife, which he nicknamed Poker. That required a up-close, personal, type of murder that is rare. It's unique. The court accepts that in 2019, of all juvenile arrests, only 7% were violent and only 1% of those were homicides. This crime is clearly an outlier, and it was shocking, and it is shocking to the conscious. This court finds that the defendant's participation in this offense was not the result of immaturity or impetuosity. He understood the risks and consequences of his actions. He previously told his girlfriend that he was going to do this. That clearly shows that he had been planning it. He attempted to cover it up by disposing of the murder weapon and throwing it into a lake. He then attempted to conceal evidence by hiding his shoes and shirt and jeans, taking a shower, stealthily entering his home, and then the actions immediately after, with the Snapchat videos in the back of the police car, and the story that he made up about pushing her is clearly refuted by the video evidence in this case. All of that shows, and this court finds, that this was not an immature or an impetuous type of crime. It makes it unique. It makes it extraordinary. What is also very troubling is that this crime had no motive. This was not done out of greed. It was not done in retaliation, retribution, or revenge. It was not a crime of passion. It was not a crime that was committed because he felt rejected by her. It was not done in a fit of uncontrollable anger. There was no reason. There was no purpose. It was done for no other reason than to satisfy this defendant's internal desire to feel what it was like to kill someone. It was committed in a cold, calculated, and premeditated manner without any pretense for moral or legal justification, and it was heinous, atrocious, and cruel. This factor and this factor alone makes this case and this defendant more than just unique. It is for this reason and all of the reasons previously stated that leads this court to the conclusion that there is only one appropriate sentence in this case. Mr. Fucci, if you and your attorneys would please rise. Counsel, is there any legal reason why this court cannot impose sentence at this time?
Nothing.
Mr. Fucci, having entered a plea of guilty to the crime of first-degree murder, I adjudicate you guilty of the premeditated first-degree murder of Tristan Bailey. I sentence you to life in prison. Because of your age, you are eligible for review of the sentence in 25 years. I order the Department of Corrections to notify you when you are eligible to apply for your review hearing. Madam Clerk, if you will please impose the minimum fines and court costs. Mr. Fucci, you have 30 days to appeal the legality of this court's sentence. If you wish to appeal but cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. You will be taken back to the Duval County Jail and then transported into the Florida State Prison System. We are adjourned.